Hello, 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 my friends. My name is Megan, and this is Stories and Stitches. And it is that time of year. It is time for a whip parade. This is my start of year whip parade. It was supposed to actually be up the end of last year or the start of this year, not partway through January. But if you've watched my floss tube, you will know, like floss tube 16, the one that came out a couple of days ago, you will know that I was sick in the time between Christmas and New Year's, and so a video just didn't happen. I had hopes for 2 videos and I got 0 done. So we're doing them now. Better a little late than never, right? And I'm hoping that you're not all tired out of whip parades already. So fingers crossed. I know I always love watching all the whip parades. I haven't even watched any yet. I'm so far behind, honestly. But I hope that you still have another one in you to watch. So, my plan is, so you may know that I started floss tube in May of last year, I believe, is when my first video went up, I think partway through May, and I did a whip parade. So my last whip parade was not actually the beginning of last year. So I don't actually think I even have progress pictures for sure that I could show you. This is where it was last year. This is where it is now. So what we're going to do is I am going to go through my last whip parade. And I'm laughing because I know how much work I've created for myself in this. But I'm going to go through my last whip parade and I will, what am I going to do? I'm going to take screenshots of where things were when you saw them in that whip parade. And I will put those in and then I will show you where it is now. And then after that, after I am finished this, I am then going to take pictures of all of my projects and put them in a folder so I have the where they were last time already set. And I don't have to do this time next year. I will already know where they were at. So that's what we're going to do for that. But I will try when I can to show you where it was in my whip parade, if applicable, and then I will show you where it is now, and we'll talk about a few stats and stuff on it, and maybe a little bit of what my plans are, or hopes and dreams are for it for this year. I have no idea how long this will take. I do have quite a few projects to go through, not as many as some, more than others, but we'll see where it goes. I'm already on my second video of filming. You may notice that I'm in the same outfit. I was gonna go do a quick change, but decided to just embrace it. I'm filming 2 videos today. I'm just gonna go with it. We'll keep them the same. And yeah, that's that kind of day. I'll comment right now. I do have a new setup. You've probably already seen that. I have a light behind me. I am still working on the lighting. So the lighting is a work in progress. I had thought, because I'm using like an aught light that's a little to the side and not a ring light, that it wasn't going to cause glare on my glasses. It is. And if I turn it off, the lighting isn't going to be quite right. So at some point, things will change. I'll get my setup sorted out. This is honestly, this whole thing, the whole basement just moved around yesterday. So I'm still working on the setup, still working on the lighting. I'm hoping eventually I will get a lighting where you're not going to see glare in my glasses. But for today, I am going to do my best to ignore it. And I hope that it's not too distracting for you either. I tried a bunch. I was up and down a bunch of times in the last video I was filming trying to fix it. And I didn't end up anywhere. So we're just going to hope for the best. Okay? So I apologize in advance if it is a little bit distracting. Okay, so I will also let you know, I do have notes on my computer behind me today. So if I'm looking over there, that is why. I have a bunch of notes. I'm a little bit more scripted today than normal because I want to make sure I get everything said. I also, as much as I love a long whip parade, and probably this will be long-ish. I don't want it to go a crazy amount of time. All right. So, all that to say, I'm checking to make sure I haven't missed anything, and I have. You may also know, if you've been around for a little while, you may know that last year I had set myself a challenge to have no more than 23 WIPs ongoing at any one time. 23 for 23. I failed on that fairly early in the year, I think. I may have already have failed by the time we hit my last WIP parade, or my first WIP parade. I don't remember. But I modified the goal at some point that I wanted to end 23 with no more than 23 WIPs. And I have stopped updating you on where I was in progress on that goal a couple months ago, I think, because I thought, let's make it a surprise for the WIP parade. So I stopped telling you where I was in relation to that. In my video of the beginning of December, I had said at that time I was going to put a poll because I was really wanting to start all the things. So I was getting into that point of the year where hitting my goal was feasible, 100% within reach, but I also wanted to start all the things, and I couldn't decide if I should just call it a good job and move on, or if I should start all the things. So I didn't ever end up doing the poll. I got busy and one thing led to another and it never happened. But what I am going to do, so I'm not going to tell you right now whether I made my goal or not, but I am going to put a counter down below. So editing Megan has a lot of work ahead of herself to do. But we are going to do a counter down below. If you think that you're going to, you may be able to figure it out because, as you know, I always list all my projects in the description. But I will say, because we're, a little bit past the beginning of the year, there may be some of those listed that were new starts for this year, but you will not know. You may or may not know just by looking at that. So, but we're going to put a counter. We're going to see if I made my goal or if I didn't. And there was something else I wanted to say about that. So if you want to play along, you can feel free to let me know in the comments what your guess is. Did I make it? Did I not make it? Where did I land on? And I will tell you one other thing. If you watched my last video or didn't watch my last video, one of the sort of wild card ones was my temperature sal, because as we all know, you can't really finish a temperature sal on December 31st. You need to wait for the temperatures to come in before you can. But I had told myself that if the only thing that still needed stitching on January 1st was December 31st stitches, then it would count as a 2023 finish. So I will let you know I did indeed finish that on January 1st, only the last stitches that needed to be stitched. So it counted as a 2023 stitch finish. So you will not see it in this video, but keep in mind that that did count as a finish for 2023. If you want to see that one or any of my progress. So I did do a floss tube recently today. It went up a couple days ago from when you're seeing this. That shows the progress I had in December. So if you want to see any of that, feel free to go take a look at that video. I will link it here, or I'll try to link it here. And yeah, so I think we're going to do the counter. Perfect. I think that is everything. I think I've covered all my pre-ramble. So we're already 9 minutes in on just pre-ramble. We should probably look at some projects, shouldn't we? I have a tea that I have made. It is still in a Christmas cup. It's in a peppermint mocha cup, so it feels like it's not Christmassy totally, but I have my tea. Feel free to go get a beverage for yourselves and grab your stitching and stitch away or do what you would like to do while we look at the projects that I am currently taking into me as of right now into 2024. And that's the other thing I will mention. If I tell you how many stitches I've done on something, it may count stitches that were done in 2024 if I've already worked on it this year. That was the easiest way to go about this since I'm filming it about a week in. But that is my other disclaimer. I am filming this on January the 7th. So all of these are as of today. So shall we start? Let's get started. Okay, I am going in order of oldest WIP to newest is how I've organized these. They are all in order in theory beside me here on the floor. Hopefully we can make this as smooth as possible. Okay, so first project is my oldest project for sure, by far, right now. I started it in something like 2000-ish. I don't have it written down when I actually started it. I can just kind of go based on when the pattern, like the kit was released. And I think I got it probably around that time. So somewhere 2000-ish, we'll call it. Maybe a little later than that. So it may be a little bit, but like this one has to be 20 years old for sure. Even if I didn't start it in 2000, it's gotta be 20 years old. So this is my Footprints in the Sand by Teresa Wentzler. So this is, here is where it will be when it's finished. It is this one here. I don't know if you can see it that well. It's not a great picture. The picture doesn't do it justice by far. As many of you know who stitched Teresa Wentzler, these have a lot of work in them. I had these grand plans that I was going to be able to finish it this year. That didn't happen. I didn't get nearly as much work done on it this year as I was hoping to get done on it. But I did get progress done on it. So here is where it was in my first WIP parade. And here is where it is now. Okay, and let me just I'm actually gonna adjust that just a wee bit. There we go. Okay, there we go. That is a little bit better. All right, a little less glary now. Here's where it is now. Again, you still can't really see the words there, but I think if I can remember correctly, you will know because you'll have seen the before picture. I think I probably did a little bit in here, and then I did transition over and started doing some words at some point this year. I wanted to get in on the words. So that is where that one is at. I do not have, so this is being done on 28 count. I think it's basically 2/2. It's on the kit fabric. And it is, I don't know how many stitches I've done on this one. I haven't tracked them. I haven't written them down, I don't think. I am going to try to change that for this year. That is one of the things I want to do. Is I started partway through the year, I think this fall, tracking all of my projects. So even if they weren't full coverage where I definitely knew how many total stitches were in them, I started tracking how many stitches I had done on them. So I'm going to start doing that. I think I'm going to try to do that for all of them this year. We'll see how it goes. I'll at least know kind of how many days if I don't know how many stitches, but that is going to be one of my goals for this year. I would really like to work on this more this year. I don't know if I can get it finished. I don't know if that's too lofty of a goal. But I would like to put some effort into getting further on it. I don't want this to be kicking around forever. If you're wondering, this is the project bag that one is in. It is one that I made following a tutorial from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. So that is that project bag there. Okay. Project number 1. All right. We are on to project number 2, which this one is, that one is a little shameful because it's my oldest and it has not gotten a lot of progress, but it's a Teresa Wentzler. I'm not going to beat myself up too much about it. This one here is not nearly as old. I started it in June of 2021. I don't think I touched it once this year. It got into timeout and I don't think it's been touched since. It got onto in my mid-year WIP freakout. I believe I said I wanted to get it out of timeout and touch it at least once. I don't think I did. I don't think I worked on this once. This is my Snow Leopard. It is by Hart Payne. June Payne Hart. June Payne Hart. And it is a very old Dimensions kit from 1997. As I said, I started it in June of 2021. But it got into timeout because I did something wrong, like up in this section somewhere. Or no, I had done something wrong in his face, and I could not get his eyes to line up. And then I was somewhere else in his face and was off like half a stitch, you know, when you're off one hole because you didn't count right. And everywhere it was going to mess up everything. Like, it wasn't the kind of off that you could just fudge and hope for the best. It was the kind of off that was resulting in me taking out as many stitches as I had put in. So it got in timeout, and I honestly don't think it's been picked up since. But I do really want to. I have been feeling the call of this one. So hopefully, every time I look at it, he's so gorgeous. So here's where he was. You saw him in May. Here is where he is now. As I said, I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same place. But, like, he's gorgeous. Those eyes. He's so pretty. Pull him a little closer here for you. Thank you. Oh, he's gorgeous. I am very hopeful he will come out of timeout. Might even leave him out. I might leave him out down here at my stitchy station and work on him. Maybe today? Probably not, though, because I have a lot of editing to do, and he's not one that can be worked on while you're editing. That's where bad dreams come from. Did I lose my needle? No. Okay. But I would like to get him out. So, as I said, he was started in June of 2021, and I highly doubt that he's been worked on. So, my main goal for him for this year is to work on him at all. Lots if possible, but to at the very least pull him out and work on it. Okay, project 2. So we are on to project number 3. We'll see. Project number 3 is Santa's Journey. If you watched my progress video from a couple weeks ago, you'll have seen this one recently. But this is Santa's Journey. It is a Janlynn kit. It is a artwork by Donna Vermillion Giamba. Another old kit from 1998. So this is my old kit section of the WIP parade. But that is how that one will look when it is finished. It is one that I think my mom also wants to stitch on, so I think we will both end up working on it this year, hopefully, which may hopefully make some more progress. But here it was when you saw it in May, and here it is now. I'm not 100% sure how much progress is made on it, but I do think there was a good chunk. Like, I don't remember where it was last time, but I know I've worked on it. So I think there should be a relatively good amount done on this one. Again, I don't have any stats on this one because I wasn't counting or wasn't tracking how many stitches I had done all year on it. It is on 28 count. No, it's not. It is on 14 count, and it's the kit fabric. And I started this one on December 28th, 2021. So it's had its second birthday now. So I would like to get a good amount of work done on this one this year. I don't know. I think last year, when I did my Christmas stitching, sorry, give me a second. This is in a king size pillowcase, waterproof pillowcase. Just from Amazon. But Last year for my Christmas stitching, I found myself working a lot on one project, one or two. So I'm hoping a little bit to kind of mix that up a little bit this year and maybe work on a little bit more Christmas throughout the year, would be what I would like to do. So hopefully I can get some good progress on that one. You'll hear that for probably most of my things, but you know, isn't that what we say? We pull out all our projects to take a look at them and we'll remember how much we love them and how much we want to stitch on them. So I am no different. What can I say? This one here, my goal for 2023 was to have this done in 2023. The fact that it is still in this WIP parade lets you know that it didn't get done. So I am hoping, very hopeful. Do I have a picture of this one? I don't have it. Okay. Very hopeful that this one will get done this year. I'm thinking, okay, let's show it and then we'll talk about it. So this is Flea Market Flowers by It's So Emma. Here is where it will look when it's finished. I don't have a picture with me for whatever reason. Here's where it was the last time you saw it, or in May, my last WIP parade. Here is where it is now. So what I ended up deciding to do partway through the year is to work on border. So I am working on finishing the border. I still have a bunch of places where I have to put lines in, but I kind of switched. I'm going to try and get all the way up and around. So I have the outside border, then I'll go through, I'll finish up the rest of the like across and down horizontal and vertical lines. And then once that's done, then I'm going to start working through the squares. And if I can get all of that done in a reasonable amount of time, I'll probably see if I can figure out like a certain amount of squares to get done per month to get it finished. So, because it's been languishing. This one feels like it's languishing. Some of the other ones I have like reasons for why they haven't got far. This one doesn't feel like it should be taking as long as it's taking. I started this on December 28th of 2021. The Janlynn kit, I feel like it feels more justified that it's taking longer. It's very detailed. It has a lot of shading. You can't just whip it out and whip stitches into it. It takes time. This one takes time as well in its own way, but like it's a lot of blocks. So yeah, anyways, it feels like it's languishing a little bit. So I want to try and get some good progress done on that one. I want it done for this year, maybe even by the end of the summer. Is that an unreasonable amount of time? And this project bag is Little Boat 88 on Etsy, a Canadian bag designer. I love it. Okay, so that is Flea Market Flowers. Again, no count on stitches on that one, but hopefully next we'll be starting to count them going forward. Okay. We are now into 2022 projects. So all the projects that were started in 2022 that still remain. I don't know why I am randomly looking around here. Got myself lost for a second there. Okay, back on track. So this one I do have a picture of it here. Perfect. This is Hibernation House by Amanda Butler. It is I have it from a magazine. I don't know which issue, but it's Cross Stitcher magazine. No chart on this one. So my Hibernation House and my little sleepy squirrel there. This one also has a lot of shading. It's one of those, this is a small full coverage. It's not going to be any problem at all. And then like it honestly is taking way longer than expected. But last year I finished at least one Dimensions gold petite kit that took a lot of time, and I think that sort of set me back on a few of my other like little full coverages. So hopefully this one, I finished that one, and I don't know if you remember, but there was this teddy bear that I had in my WIP parade last time that was causing me trouble. And if you watched my videos last year, you'll know that bear was like my nemesis. I finished him last year too. So 2 small, highly detailed full coverages last year. So I feel like that's why some of my other ones didn't get as much progress. But this is my Hibernation House. I want to work on him more. as we always say. This is, I'm hoping he'll get some work actually in the next little bit because he kind of feels wintry. He's got that, like, his colors say fall, but he's a hibernating squirrel or a sleepy squirrel. He looks like that's a winter thing, right? The colors on this one look very strange right now because since it's basically full coverage, and when I finish it, I plan on leaving very little border on it. I picked a witch alt fabric that I got in like, what do you call it? I'm just noticing this is not sewn. Bad, Megan. I picked a witch alt fabric that I didn't love the color of, that I got in, like, I was in the Fat Quarter Shop Club for a year, just to get some fabric because I didn't have a lot at that point. So anyways, I picked one I didn't really like because I figured it's full coverage. It doesn't matter. So anyways, here's where Hibernation House was in my last WIP parade. Here's where it is now. I'm sure I got some more of this done because I feel like I only had a little bit done up in here, and I've now finished most of the door. I wanted to say I had a lot of the backstitch done in the door, but that's 100% a lie. I haven't done any of the backstitch in the door yet. I just must have dreamed about doing backstitch in the door, but I have a lot of that door done and ready for the backstitch to go into it. So that is where that is now. I do have some numbers on this one. I don't have how many I did this year for some reason. But I have done a total of, excuse me. I have done a total of 1,555 stitches into this one, and that is a total percentage of 7.2%. It was one that I was able to, like, take a picture of and get into Pattern Keeper. That's why I know how much I've done on that one. Okay, and I think that one is, like, he is feasible to finish in a year if I set my mind to it. But we'll see. Oh, this next one I was supposed to take out of the Q-snap. Hold, please. Also, sorry, I'm back. I will apologize. I know a lot of people iron their projects before their WIP parades. I have not done that. That is not a thing that I have done. So I apologize. Nothing is ironed because I just did not, it wasn't, if I had to have ironed everything, the WIP parade wasn't happening today, and I really wanted to get it done. Like, I needed to get it done. So anyways, this is my Beach Babes by Vicki Wade. I am not going to put a picture in of how it will look when it is finished. The details will be below. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, but it is a gift for my mother. She has seen me working on it, so she's seen little bits of it, but hasn't seen the final, like, what it'll look like. So I'm not going to put that picture in, but you can go check it out on the HAED website. I will try to link it below. I don't remember if YouTube will let me or not, but we'll see how it goes. So I haven't got nearly as much work done on this one as I want, but here's where it was in my last WIP parade. And here is where it is now. Yeah, sorry. There we go. So, haven't gotten as much done as I would like, but I have gotten a good chunk done. I do need to pick the pace up a little bit. This one got, I started this one in, I don't have it. Oh, there it is. February 23rd of 2022. It is being done on 25 count, 2/1 full cross, so it's thick. It's pretty tapestry-like, which I kind of like. I have switched. You'll see I've switched how I'm doing most of them. I'm not doing any of the other ones this thick, but because this one hurts my fingers. I do have ball tip needles, which I have on my list to try. I actually was gonna try them yesterday, and they were upstairs and I was downstairs. It wasn't happening. But I didn't get as much done on this one because, so for the Fandom Stitching Central group that I'm in, I had set this one and designated it as my full coverage challenge piece. And the way the full coverage challenge worked last year was that it was based on page finishes. So you got points for each page you finished. But as you can see, I am working cross country, not extreme cross country, like how people will do, but I am working cross country. And so page finishes didn't work for me. So even if I would to have gotten the equivalent of a page done, it wouldn't have counted. So I found and that prompt couldn't be double dipped with anything else. So you couldn't work on something else and double dip it for those ones. You kind of had to do it. It had to be just on its own. You couldn't use other projects. Like you couldn't use it for any other prompts. So I just wasn't picking it up. I would do other challenges and then I'd pick this one up if I had time. So I did not pick this one up nearly as much as I had wanted to last year. So they have changed it this year and the full coverage event is out, but in either the weeklies or the monthlies, you can actually now take an option where instead of doing a project that fits the prompt, you can work on a full coverage, a BAP full coverage. So at least 4 pages full coverage piece, which this one obviously fits. This was 4 pages, I'm pretty sure. So any of them that are full coverage and at least 4 pages, you can count. Whether it fits the prompt or not. So say the prompt was like stitch on an automobile and you didn't want to stitch on an automobile or have anything that would be an automobile, I could pull this one out, do the stitches required for it, and not even penalty stitches. So like if I had to do 300 on a car and I didn't have a car or didn't want to do a car, I could put 300 into this and count it. And then it could also count as my, depending on what one I did, sometimes it can also count as your yearly. So long story short, I have already pulled this out for one prompt this year that it did fit the prompt for. But either way, have already pulled it out once. So I'm hoping that now that that is the new rules on it, that I can use this for a lot more. Because if I wanted to, I could like skip the weeklies and just do this as my weeklies for that week, and get in a ton of stitches on it. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I'm very much hoping that that will help me get a lot more stitches in on that one. So hopefully by this time next year, I will be showing you a piece that has quite a lot more done on that one. So this one I did do 6,742 stitches in on it this year, which as I said is not a great amount, considering the year before that I think I did significant. I think I did like 35,000 the year before, because I am at a grand total of 41,154. So if you compare those 2 years, considering this was started in 2022 of February, the first year I did significantly more into it while still having quite a few other projects on the go. So I'm hoping we can turn it around for that one, because I don't want it to take 20 years to finish. I am at 13% on that one. Okay, project number 7 is where we are at. And that is a non-full coverage. This one was started in, I started this one April 4th in 2022. I don't have my picture of it. Actually, probably do in a binder over there, but I'm not going to go get it. So this is the Moonlight sampler by the Blue Flower. Here's a picture of how it will look when it is finished. Here is where it looked in my last WIP parade video. And here, come on, is where it looks now. So I don't know, the lighting is not going to be kind to this one. So let me pull it closer. So, okay, can I see though? Yeah. All right. Down here where is a little bit tricky to see. Let me fold it in. so I can show you. My letters are hard to see. They show up just fine in person. But I am doing them on, so the green is, I believe, the called for, whatever the called for variegated is. There. And the purple is actually probably a hand dyed by Rolanda. I think I've already put it away. Oh, I don't have any of my flosses in here. I think the purple is a hand dyed by Rolanda. So what I decided to do to mix it up a little bit is most of the letters will be in the green. And then because my initials kind of fell very close together here, I decided to do my initials in a different color. So I think I've done those since you saw it last. I don't really know, but this is where it is at. You can kind of see my letters in there. You kind of can't, but I haven't gotten as much progress as I would like to do on this one, but I have done a little bit. Hoping to pull it out a little bit more. Again, this one isn't one that would count for as many prompts. But I think I kept forgetting to pull it out for whatever reason. It is also one that needs pretty good lighting because it is 40 counts, my only 40 count. So I'm doing 1/2 on 40 count. I don't remember what fabric it is, but yeah, my only 40 counts, not my first 40 count. I did do a test on another one. I am enjoying it. I don't actually mind the 40 count. I just keep forgetting to pull it out. Hopefully I did start, you may remember I started doing sort of some rolling dice last year that I paused as we got closer to Christmas, but I'm hoping I'll do something like that again and that will help that one come out a little bit more this year. I don't really have any goals for it other than to just work on it more for that one. So, okay, we are up to number 8. And that is one that I am notorious for getting the name wrong, so I looked it up this time to make sure. This is Half the Fun by Ink Circles. Once again, I don't have my picture down here, so I will put a picture here of what it will look like when it is finished, or what the cover chart looks like. Not what mine will look like when it's done, but and this one, again, I thought I had counted the stitches so that I would know what was in 1/4, but can't find that anywhere. So maybe put it down. Hold on. Did I count you? No. So funny because I was sure that I had, or that I was going to count them and write it down so that I knew what was in it. But whatever. Anyways, it's beside the point. So here's where it was when you saw it in May. And here is where it is now. So I have finished an entire quarter. I'm actually more than 25% done because if you can see, I have all 3 of these, like I have 3 out of 4 balloons done, 3 out of 4 little blue boats done. But for sure, 1 whole quarter is done. So I have done at least one of all mode of transportation that is in this one. And the rest of it each piece will be the same color. So the airplane will always be blue, for instance, which means that the remaining 3/4 should go by quicker because I don't have to pause to determine what color each transportation mode is going to be. And I've also figured out like what is included in that, right? So like this little guy, these little circles are included in him, right? Anyways, so my goal for this one for this year is to finish it. And I would like to do a quarter for the first 3/4 of the year. So I have 3/4 of it left. I'd like to do 1/4 each quarter and have it done by the end of September. Can I do it? Maybe. It's totally feasible. It's just a matter of if I can stick with it. My stick with it isn't always that great, but it is a totally feasible goal. So I'm really hoping to do that on that one. I am doing this one. I don't remember what fabric I'm doing it on. It's a picture this plus 14 count, but I am doing it with pearl cotton, size 5 pearl cotton, because there was a hand dyed by Rolanda that I loved that has the green and the blue and teals in it. And I bought it to do this one, realized I had miscalculated horribly. I'm not sure how, but I had. So I then went out and bought 2 DMC pearl cottons in similar colors to supplement it with. So that is what I am doing that one in. This is my first ink circles. I have a couple more I would like to do. I want to say I want to finish this one first, but we'll see. Will that happen? Will it not? Will I cave? Unknown. But I do want to finish this one this year. I have it is quite fun to do. And now that I've picked out everything, so there's less decisions, it'll help me pick it up a little bit more. I've actually had a few times I've wanted to pick it up lately, but I had purposely put it on hold to not work on for the last part of the year. So it's allowed to come back out right now. And I have this in a very, high quality professional project bag that it was probably from Bath Supplies, but it works. Doesn't work so good when you're trying to not show patterns. So I will make sure to remove or blur or whatnot. Just done it again for that. But okay, that's number 8. We are at number 9. Oh, and number 8, I don't know if I mentioned that one was also started on April 4th of 2022. Okay, number 9. This is Northern Nights. It is a Dimensions Gold kit. I'm hoping it won't be glary, but it will look like this when it's finished. There. As I said, Dimensions Gold. The design is by Abraham Hunter. And I started this one. I started this. I don't have it written down when I started this. That's what's happened. Okay. So this one was started on June 5th of 2022. Had to pull my iPad out because apparently in my comprehensive notes, they were not all that comprehensive, unfortunately. Okay. So this one is in a, let me just move some things so you can't really see chart here. This is in a project bag by Sheba Designs. Oh, my little tag is being out there. Sheba Designs. I have a little pouch in there as well. It's a little like floss catcher. I got it at Stitch North last year and I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm hoping they'll be at Stitch North again. I really should look on their site and buy a couple more, but when you make them as well, project bags, sometimes you don't always want to buy one unless it really grabs you. So anyways, here is where this one was the last time, my last WIP parade. And here, here is where, this one should have got ironed because it's not beat quilting. Here's where it is now. I stitch on this one primarily when I am camping or at cabins, that kind of thing. It definitely gets stitched then. It can get stitched at other times. That is when it definitely gets stitched on though. I had originally decided that I was kind of going to just work down, then I was going to work by page. Then one day I went rogue and decided I wanted to work my way all the way to the bottom. So that is the very bottom corner here. I have worked my way down. I've been working mostly on these upper trees up in here. And I honestly, every time I pull this one out, I love how it's turning out. It is dimensions, so it's a mixture of multiple threads. It has some half stitches, some full cross. It's kind of a whole mix. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag, that one. So, and again, I don't have recorded how many stitches I've done on this one. So hopefully this year I will keep better track of how much I've done on that one. All right. Whoops. So that was number 9. We are up to number 10. Okay, so next up we have everything tastes better with chocolate on it, I think. Might be everything tastes better with chocolate chips on it, some combination of that. I tend to call it chocolate on everything. Everything tastes, so it is let me read you the full title. Mini Everything Tastes Better with Chocolate Chips on It. Art is by Randall Spangler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Is this one here. I know that's a pretty little picture. I might put in a bigger one. We'll see. But excuse me. I started that one on July 15th, 2022. It was a late birthday start for myself that year. So that is when I started that one. I had grand plans last year that I was going to finish it in 2023 because it was feasible. Based on where I was at, it was 100% feasible. Then I worked on too many other projects and didn't get very far at all. So I believe last year, or 2023, I did a total of 1,310 stitches into it. So here's where it was when you saw it in my first WIP parade. Here is where it is now. As I said, I only did 1,310 stitches in it last year. My full coverages got sadly neglected. I didn't even move the Q-snap. Like, I had so many plans. Like, I am realistically so close to being done this first row of pages and just didn't pick it up. So I have a grand total of 5,064 stitches on this one done, and I'm at 10.52%. So I would really like to get more into that. Again, I've already worked on this a couple times in the last little bit though, so hopefully we can get some momentum going on that one. Okay. And that one is 1/1, so you might notice the difference. This one is 1/1, full cross on 25 count. I am okay with that coverage. From back here, I mean, obviously you can see holds. There's stitches missing, but the coverage is pretty good, and I am enjoying the stitching process a lot better on that one in a lot of ways. So, okay. Moving along, we're getting there. We're not doing too bad. Okay, I would tell you how far through we are, but that will give away the final numbers. We are up to number 11, and that is a non-full coverage, full coverage-ish piece. It's one of those ones that doesn't count as full coverage because it's not fully, but it kinda is. And where is it? So this is 2022's Ho 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 from Gecko Rouge. It was my first Gecko Rouge that I started. I had to think about that for a second. I do not have the picture of it down here for some reason. I need to grab. Actually, I just might. I was thinking I didn't have the picture, and then I remembered that I have it down here right beside me, actually. So I can show it this time. This is, oh, it smells so nice. It smells, it was in like a ho 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 box, and it had some really nice smelling soap in it. So it still smells a little bit like that. But this is what it will look like when it is done. It is Lorna Laine, charted by Gecko Rouge, and it was exclusive for the Ho Ho Ho. It is Winter Jackalope. And so what I mean when I say it's not quite full coverage is like it is full coverage for where it is, but it's not like it has bits, right, that stick out. So I don't know if it counts as full coverage. I'm not really sure how they count like that, where it is like for the most part full coverage, but then it's got like a little doop-de-doop and it's not fully square, and I'm not sure. Let me know how if you count those as full coverage or if you consider them as. That would be helpful because I'm never really sure. I've lost my work now. So that is, I started this one. I have just thrown my needle. Okay, just threw a needle here off of this. So that's great. I'm gonna have to go on a search mission for that shortly. Anyways, here's where this one was the last time you saw it. And here is where it is now. I don't actually know how much I've done since you saw it in May. It is also a little bit trickier for this one to tell where I've done. Because, so this one is 1/1 on 28 count. I started it on December 22nd, 2022, just over a year ago now. But aside from where I have done all the brown in the outline of the bunny there, like that outlining stitches, I am now doing, and aside from like here where I hadn't decided what I was doing yet, and here where I needed to get the center, I decided to do it extreme cross country from lowest number of stitches to highest. So it can be tricky to tell exactly where I've worked because like there's a few stitches over there, there's a few stitches kind of here, there, and everywhere on that one. But I'm really enjoying the process on this one. I think it's a great one size-wise to do that type of experimental process on. I have done 3,489 stitches on that one this year, for a total of 5,064 stitches, and I am 10.52% of the way through. So I actually did not too bad on that one, all things considered. At one point when I knew that things weren't getting done, I made myself a mini goal of getting 5,000 on most of my full coverages. I didn't make that goal, but it did get me quite a few stitches on that one. The needle has been recovered. I don't have to worry about finding it later or finding it in my foot later. This is what you get when you film 2 videos in one day. All right, next up, we are moving right along. We're still in 2022 projects, but we're almost at the end of 2022 actually. So the next one up was my Christmas Eve new start in 2022. And some of you may already know what that is. 'Twas the Night by Sue Hillis Designs. I am doing this one on completely different fabric, and I am doing it mostly called for colors, except for the gold border, which is in 2 different colors of yellow, which is gorgeous, but just is a lot less my style and wasn't calling to me on this one. I will be doing it in black and gray, so sort of like a black silver look, which you will see why that will kind of make a little more sense for mine in a moment. So I am doing this. Okay, first of all, here's where it was when you saw it in my last WIP parade. Here is where it is now. This one has gotten a lot of progress. I know that it's gotten a lot of progress. I am doing it on 14 count Haunted Moon by Fabric Flare. So it is a very different feel than the original, which is why I think black with gray will work a lot better for the border on this one. Haven't gotten it to it yet, but this one is in a very good place that it could be finished next year. So I'm hoping for that. And I'm almost at the point where I'm going to transition into that border. I did, including backstitch, and for the purposes of this number, I counting backstitch as 1 stitch, even though I know it normally counts as a half a stitch. For the purposes of this one, I think I counted it as 1. I have done 4,520 stitches on that one this year. And most of those stitches were done in December. So I made a lot of progress on that one in a very short amount of time. Okay. We are I believe we are into 2023. So project number 13 is the first project I started in 2023. I started 2 New Year, New Starts because why stop at 1 when you can do 2? And I couldn't decide which one. So basically this one here that we're going to talk about in a second, I had decided was going to be my New Year, New Start months previously. I was doing a good job. I was going to wait. I wasn't going to start it right away. I was going to use it as my New Year, New Start. I then got the next one relatively close together, or like later in the year, and really wanted to start it as well. So I told myself I could start 2. Anyways, the first one is Beloved Flipped. Regular size, regular color, Beloved, but the flipped version. Artwork by Adele Sessler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I started it January 1st, 2023. I am doing it 1/1 full cross on 28 count. And this one also is supposed to have a needle attached to it. Okay, sorry, I apologize. This one has like a rogue thread. Let me see if I can move that a little bit. It's not quite as in the way. Okay. Here is where this one was in the last WIP parade. And here is where it is now. I did not bat on this one. I do need to get further along and get a move on it. But I did 5,952 stitches on this one last year up until present, which is 2.01%, which, I mean, isn't terrible. It's better than some got, but if I do it at 2% a year, it's going to take me a lot of years to finish. But anyways, I have got quite a bit done on that one. I have a lot that I can fill in. I got to work on pulling this border down, etc. So, but that one is coming along better than some progress, right? Okay. And again, this has been one I've been able to use for prompts a little bit easier this year than I found it was sometimes last year. Okay, perfect. So we are on to, I have quite the pile of projects. I'm just moving them from one place into another, but it feels less organized somehow. My second New Year, New Start for 2023 was Gamer Nouveau by Medusa Dollmaker, charted by Gecko Rouge. This is my second Gecko Rouge kit that I started. I think it was actually the first one I bought, second one I started, but so that is my Gamer Nouveau. It is no longer available, as far as I know, because Gecko Rouge is no longer carrying the Medusa Dollmaker kits. I'm not sure if this is one that Medusa Dollmaker has charted herself yet, though. She does have, I believe it's on Etsy. She's been charting her own work as well. Okay, so here is where that one was the last time that you saw it, or in May of last year, my first WIP parade. And I want to say here it is now, but I don't currently have it in my hands. Here it is now. So it's kind of looks a little bit abysmal of a start. I did 6,028 stitches in this year. It doesn't look like it. I am at 3.05%, so I've done a lot more than it looks like. I really wanted to do the outlining of this one like I had done for my rabbit, my Winter Jack. But it turns out that this one isn't, even though it looks like it is, it's not outlined in all the same color. So it's a little more piecemeal than the other one is. So it was giving me troubles when I tried to do it the last time. I may give it another go and try to do that. I might need it. It may have been that I had to like get a little further before I could make it work properly to do it that way. But I think I might give that another go because I really like doing it that way because it feels like you can see what you're working towards a little bit more. So I would like to try and do that again. So I may put an effort into seeing what the easiest way would be to make that border work, even if it means switching between colors and doing it that way for a bit. But as I said, got done. I'm up to 3.05% on that one right now. I am doing it 1/1 full cross on 28 count. Okay, next up we have one that if you follow along, you have seen many, many, many times this year because I've worked on it quite a lot. It's one I use quite often for spooky stitching. I use it fairly regularly. Oh, I should take this out of the Q-snap so you can actually see it. Okay. So this one is Tonight We Ride by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Sorry for the glare on that one. And here is where it was the last time, or the May WIP parade, I believe. This one was started at that time. Yes, I started this one January 13th of 2023. So here's where it was, and here's where it is now. And I am certain that I've made a lot of progress on that one. I have a feeling where it was when you saw it last, like I have a general idea of where that was because I don't think I had a lot started into it. And then I kind of just got going and just kept going, and it's got a lot of stitches in it. A lot of stitches in it. I have done, I don't know if this number counts all of them or not. I don't remember if I counted them all in to like one stitch because I didn't start counting it when I started it. So I have done 6,734 stitches at least, and it's maybe halfway? Unknown. There's still some witches, a moon, some more houses. But it's really fun to stitch. I love stitching this one. It is on Pumpkin Patch by Stitch Me. I think it's 14 count. It's either 14 or 16. It's very fun to stitch. It also, you have to be real careful on the counting, which is what I found with the last Autumn Lane Stitchery when I did. I am notorious for getting off, but I can also sometimes you can fudge it a little bit better. So I have crazy running cats going on around here, so hopefully I don't need to take them upstairs, but we'll see. Okay. We are up to number 16, which I also believe you will have seen in my first WIP parade. So this is Greenhouse of Oddities, Sal, which is by Lola Crow Designs. And all of the Sal is out now. I had high hopes to finish it and keep up with it. I did not end up keeping up with it. There's a lot of stitches in each part. Didn't manage to keep up with it. Sometimes that's how it goes. That's why sometimes we call them start-alongs. I am doing it on 1/1 full cross on 14 count witch elt fabric. I don't remember which witch elt it is. Here's where it will be, what it'll look like finished, approximately. Here's where it was in my last WIP parade. Here is where it is now. So I have finished up to and including the end of part 4, including the backstitch, and I am, I think, almost halfway through part 5, give or take. So coming along. There are 11 parts total, so I would like it done this year, but you know, could go either way. All right, so I have done a total of 10,156 stitches into that one so far. I don't know what the percentage is because I haven't put the final part like all together I've been putting each part individually into my pattern keeper. So I haven't actually taken a look to see what the total number of stitches is. I'm kind of going part by part. Okay, and If I speed up a little bit right now, bear with me. I'll try not to go too fast, but I've just been told that supper's done and I can smell it. So now I'm getting a little bit hungry. But we're getting there. We're almost-ish done. We are up to, I'm almost done my first box, and then I've got like a few randoms assortments on the ground here. So next up is project number 17. And that is Berry Bakery by Stitching with the Housewives. I am not sure if you've seen this one or not. So if it was in my first WIP parade, I will put the picture of it here now. It may not have been though. This is what it will look like when it is finished. I suspect it, I feel like it was a different one that you guys saw last year, but I might be wrong. That is where that one, what it will look like. I am doing it on 14 count black Aida. And this is what it looks like now. There it is. Not a ton done on it. I have done 643 stitches on that one. Not sure if I was working on another one or if I had just finished another one when I started this one, but it didn't get a lot done in it. Hope so. And they have a lot of stitches. But that will be my focus, Stitching with the Housewives project for this year, for the first part of this year anyways. Maybe I can even have it finished by June. It feels like one that should get up by June. I also haven't fully finished any in that series, so got problems. But I started that one on May 19th of 2023. Okay, my June new moon new start is up next. And that is my first Nora Corbett. This is Moon Glow by Nora Corbett. So it's not a Mirabilia, it's one that is a Nora Corbett. I hope that's not too glary there. I started it in June. I only have one date of stitching recorded in my Stitch Pal, so I felt like I had worked on it more than that though. So I'm not totally sure if this number is accurate, but I have written down that I've done 220 stitches, but I can't tell if I've done more than that or not. So that's where it is. I'm not even 100% sure that's the top, but I think it is. It's a bit of a sad start. This is on 16 count Mystic. I have it written down. Where are you? 16 count Mystic by Picture This Plus. Bit of a sad start there. That one definitely needs some more love. There's a cat getting into a box down here. Okay. Shows you it's mostly empty since he can actually get into it. I am doing that one. I started that one on June 18th of 2023. Okay. We are on number 19. This is my birthday start. Yes, this is my birthday start from 2023. I started it on July 12th. It is Goldilocks by Scott Gustafson, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I am doing it on 25 count, and I am doing it 2/1 tent stitch. And I'm not going to take this one out of the Q-snap because you can see everything that's been done so far in the Q-snap. So that is where that one is. And I have done 4,587 stitches into that one for a total of 3.12%. Moves a little bit quicker because it is the 10th stitch. I'm enjoying this. I am really enjoying it. I am enjoying the coverage on it. I think it's working pretty great. And I'm excited to keep on moving on that one this year. Yes, I already gave you the stats on that one. Keep forgetting what order I'm in over here. Okay. We are almost into the fall. We're getting there. Getting places over here. Okay, Vintage Housewives And I'm onto the ground. Okay. Ooh. Move my pile up here a little bit. Okay, so next up is Vintage Housewives by Lori Holt, by It's So Emma, which I believe Lori Holt was the Flea Market Flowers as well, but Lori Holt, It's So Emma. And I am doing a conversion on this one. So it took me a while to get it started. I don't fully have it like charted, the conversion. It's going to be a little bit pick and mix as I go. But I am doing it in purples, grays, and black, I believe, are my colors that are being done. It's being done just on 14 count white Aida, or off white Aida, I think. My border will be in like some dark purple and grays, I think, or gray and black. I can't quite remember right now. But this is what I have done. Started in the middle, working on the skirt there in purples, and then the band at the top is going to be gray, purples and grays. So I have done 651 stitches into this one, and I started it August 21st, 2023. I started it as a new moon, new start, and then pretty much put it away. I knew that I wasn't going to work on it too much after that, because there was spooky stitching to do, and then there was going to be Christmas stitching to do. So that one doesn't have a lot of work done in it, but it wasn't really destined to get a lot of work in it in that second half of the year. So, okay. We are on to number 21, which was a spooky new start. Was it a new moon, new start? Might have been a new moon, new start. The 15th of October, 2023. And it is Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place. That one is a bit blurry. I'm gonna take out the chart here to show you. Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place. I have loved this one for ages. I think I saw Gary from who was on Sunshine Stitchery, Sunshine Stitchers at the time, from Garon. I saw him doing it, I believe, and then Danny by It's So Danny Needlework. Maybe? I can't remember her name all of a sudden. I loved hers, so was finally bit the bullet and bought it and started it in October of this year. I am doing it on, I've thrown some threads. I am doing it on 14 Count Haunted by Picture This Plus. And I really only got a start done, partially because I didn't have half the colors I wanted with me. Like they were in other projects and not ones I wanted to go on a search mission for. So this is all I've gotten done. Some border. I did 137 stitches, but again, one that I knew probably wasn't going to get a lot of love. And I have to go on a mission and collect some colors for it to put in the bag, because otherwise, like I can't really do much unless I want to just do border. There's not much I can do, because I was missing a bunch of colors. So not missing, but they weren't there, if that makes sense. Anyways, I started, yes, we already discussed that. I got them all. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. We're getting there. I can see the light. And we're getting to that moment of truth. Did I make my goal for last year? Next up was another spooky new start. This was a Halloween start. I started this one on October 31st last year. I am doing it on 16 Count Haunted by Picture This Plus. You'll notice a trend. Sometimes when I discover a fabric I like, I kind of go for it. This is me being all out of order. Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. You'll have seen already that I'm doing it on a very different color. So there may be some conversions that I do depending on what I think of how the color looks. So like some of these browns especially, I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with the browns or turn them a little bit more into gray browns. We shall see. Some of them will stay brown, like I'm going to leave the dirt brown, but it might be a slightly different brown, for instance. But anyways, I have done 929 stitches on this one. And I've pretty much done border and a bat. One little bat up here, and then I've been working on border. Border, 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 border. On that one. There. Partially because there is a part of me that would like to, oh, and sorry, that's Halloween at Hawthorne Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. But part of me would like to do all the border and then be able to sort of choose which blocks I want to work on at any given time and dip in and out. So we'll see. It'll all depend sort of, it will all depend if I get bored of the border because I don't want that plan to stop me from working on it at all. But I don't really mind working on black, so sometimes I find it nice. I mean, it does take a lot of counting because I really want to make sure I'm counting correctly, obviously, but I don't mind it. So we shall see how that goes. All right, that was number 22. We are at number 23, which was my Christmas Eve new start this year. So as you can see, I made it till at least Christmas Eve without having a new start. So only one new start on Christmas Eve. And that is Christmas Bells Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. Okay, can you focus? Thank you. It is, I am doing it on 16 count, 18 count, no, 16 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. Yes, 16 count. And I am doing, let me show you. I am doing a Roxy Floss Co. conversion. So I will probably do the DMC Etoile that's called for the bells, but then for the rest of it, it is a Roxy Floss conversion that I've just picked color that I thought I liked that went similar to the called for. And I started at Christmas Eve. I only worked on it Christmas Eve. And here is where it is now. I've done Carols and Wild. I did hope to work on it more. It just wasn't calling to me after Christmas. And I was trying to get all 12, like all the days I needed on my other Christmas ones. So this one unfortunately didn't get as much love. But I did get done 331 stitches, I think, if I've pulled that number from somewhere and I keep second guessing if it's right, but 331 stitches allegedly done on this one. There. Okay, so it is the moment of truth. Did I or did I not do any more stitches, cross stitches in 2023? Drum roll, please. I don't know if I'll actually have a drum roll, but blah, 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 blah. I made my goal. That is the last project I started in 2023. So I ended 2023 with 23 projects. I did it! And I do not think I am setting myself a similar goal for this year. Not sending a 24 and 24, partially because I just want to be free to start what I want to start and not have any pressure to finish it. I still want to finish lots of projects. I still want to get a lot of progress on things, but I still want to be able to start new things. And as you'll have seen, I have a lot of big projects. So I have a lot of full coverage, but I also have big projects that are going to take time. And so I don't want to limit myself because I do like to have a few smalls and medium-sized pieces in there. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I limit myself to having to finish with 24 projects. So that is where we're at. I made my goal. I'm very proud of myself for sticking to that. I don't know if 23 projects is too many. I have a couple more to show you. We're not quite done the whip parade just yet. I don't know if it's too many for me. It might be. I might, get partway through the year or decide I don't want to start anymore and just work on that it's too much. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's all kind of a work in progress, play it by ear kind of thing. But I do have 2 more projects to show you that I have started so far in 2024 because, of course, I had to start 2 new year, new starts. Both of them are sals or sals-ish. So the first one is the HAED sal, Heaven and Earth Design sal for 2024. It is closed now, unfortunately. So if you missed it, you can't join. You did have to pick which sal you wanted, or sal chart you wanted to do by the end of December. So they are pieces that are charted specifically for this sal. So for instance, I am doing Astrology Cat 2024 sal. I'll put a picture of it here. And this is a smaller portion of the Astrology Cat chart, like the main one, which is by Ciro Marchetti. And it is about 60,600 stitches, I think mine will end up being. So there's so many pages released each quarter, and then with the last of them released at the end of the year. So I am hoping to finish it all this year, all 60,000. It is doable. I am doing it in 10 stitch, so I'm doing it 2 over 1 10 stitch on 25 count. And here is where I am so far. Just got a little wee start there. I did 313 stitches and am at 0.51%. Little tiny start, but it is a start. I'm already behind. That's okay. I will work on it when it calls to me. And I will probably try and set myself a goal for how much I want to get done per week or something. But for now, it is started. My other sal is not an official sal in that it wasn't released as a sal, but Fandom Stitching Central has picked 2 Disney charts to do as sals this year for points. So I am currently doing one of them. I'm still jury's out on whether I might want to do the other one as well. They are both charts by L Cross Stitch on Etsy. One is Disney Heroes and one is Disney Villains. I am doing the Disney Villains, as I said. Depending on how it goes, I may also do the heroes, but for now I'm doing Disney Villains. I am doing it, this is what it will look like, sorry. I am doing mine on 14 count pink sand witch quilt fabric, and here's where I am so far. I've done 211 stitches. I'm at 2.03%. So just a little start on a evil queen. So I am currently at, as you will see, 25 whips, which feels like a not bad number of whips. I do have some more I want to start. So we shall see. We shall see how that goes. But yeah, 25 whips going into the rest of 2024. Had 23 to end. I figured since I was doing the whip parade now, I might as well show all my whips, not just the ones that kind of were official at the end of December. But that is it. I think we've done pretty good time. I hope I didn't speed up too much at the end there. But as I said, I can smell my dinner up there. And it's making me hungry. So I would like to go eat it. And I have been filming for a couple of hours now. So let me know if there are any of these projects that I'm stitching on that you're also stitching on. Let me know if you're participating in the Fandom Stitching Central group this year and what team you're on. I'm on Team Mickey. And yeah, let me know what you were working on. That's the other thing. Let me know what you were working on while you watched this video and how far you got. I would love to hear about it. I'd love to see your progress. Feel free to tag me or whatever on Instagram if you want to let me know what you worked on while you were watching this video. Whatever you want to do. My Instagram handle will be below. It is Storiesandstitchesx because Stories and Stitches was already taken. But I will wrap it up there. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've watched my other floss tube this week, thank you for joining me multiple times this week and spending your time with me. Thank you so much. It makes me so happy and so thankful to know that each of you enjoys spending some time with me during these videos. So I will see you all in the next one and have a wonderful stitchy week. Bye.